Drummers I Like podcast, episode number 35. Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast. I am your host, Richard Ducat, and on the other lines, I have my co-hosts, Kevin Charlelli and Jamie Gamble. What's going on, guys? How you doing today?
Oh, good day in Florida. I don't know how's things over on the other coast for you guys.
It's pretty good over here. You know, I got a little bit of an overcast, but you know, California, it never rains in Southern California, and if it does, it's something really, really unusual.
like the last few weeks.
Too.
You hear the mayor too of Los Angeles? I think it was the mayor. He came out and he's like, "The drought is over. There's no more drought."
Right.
Until next week.
Right.
That's good though. I mean, you know, you guys need to be out of that drought, but still, it must be nice. You know how it is in Florida, man. We can get plenty of rain. We've been having cold all this week. We always talk about weather. It's our first topic. That's like our go-to.
Weather's life, man. It's all about
Right.
Your life is controlled by the weather. If you
true.
think about it, like if you wake up in the morning and it's gloomy out, you feel a certain way. If you wake up in the morning, it's really sunny and hot. You can feel the beams coming in. You feel a different way than you would feel otherwise. So I think that weather's important because it really plays a partial role in everyone's experience daily. You know, it could change your mood.
I think we only say that because we're in California again. Because in New York, they have
that's probably
they got it. They be in the rain, they be in the snow pushing it. We out here in California, be like, it's raining. Okay, I'll stay in.
Yeah, right. This show has like a skewed view because like part of it comes from California and the other part of it comes from Florida. So it's like they're both like the paradise places where, you know, people want to go retire to or something. I don't know.
Jersey, Rhode Island, Maine, New York, they're all like, shut up about the weather, please.
Yeah, right. I was going to say, it's been cold here. You know, we had some nights down in the 40s, you know. It's been real cold here in Florida. Yeah. People up north are like, are you kidding me?
I think we're all dealing with the weather in some way, whether it be a good thing or not. Whether or not it'd be good. But, you know, getting off the weather.
Oh, that was bad. Whether or not. Nice, Richard. Nice.
Nice, Richard.
Well, I mean, I guess kind of on kind of a somber note, I have something I'd kind of like to bring to the show as a way to kick things off. Hopefully the show will only improve in happiness from there, but I'm sure everybody has seen by now that Butch Trucks passed away last week. It's been pretty relevant on you know, a bunch of news sources that I've seen, but unfortunately he took his life, and from what it looks like, he did it in front of his wife.
Wow,
it was super brutal.
I did hear about that, but I mean, now what was the rock group he was with? What group was he with?
He was with the Allman Brothers. He was him and J. Johnny Johnson are the duo drummers from the Allman Brothers.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, I know he was up in age. I don't know exactly how old he was right off the top of my head without looking it up real quick.
63, I think.
But see, I mean, you know, that's not even that bad. Like, that's not even that old. It wasn't like he was 85 or something either.
And he had a pretty nice life.
So
man.
I don't know. Sad
money.
story. Sad story. We don't know the whole story really, other than just that.
Yeah, you never know what's going on. You never know what's going on with a person.
No, you never do. But I tell you what, man, that's a heck of a permanent solution for what most times can be a temporary problem. So it's unfortunate to hear. That's for sure.
You know what? I'll say this.
I mean, what's that?
I still have yet to see videos popping up on YouTube, and please don't laugh, that say the satanic Illuminati sacrifice of Butch Trucks. What really happened? So that's probably a good sign. Because most of the time, someone in the public dies, and I'm on YouTube the next day, and the conspiracy world has gone crazy. Not saying they couldn't be wrong or right, but it's a good sign. So I really do hope the story is what it said it was, and there's no foul play here.
Yeah, just straightforward. I mean, it's unfortunate no matter what. Like I said, he was a big influence on me. My dad, he was a big Allman Brothers fan, and he always really respected Barry Oakley, their late bass player that passed away years ago. But I mean, I was exposed to their playing really, really young, and it definitely shaped a lot of my stuff. So it was definitely not cool to see, but there'll be more to come, I'm sure, on the story, and we'll probably get a little bit more. But I'm sure the family's going to keep their stuff private, which is to be respected. So our condolences. I know from the Drummers I Like gang to the family, and to anybody, everybody in the Allman Brothers family too, because they got to be hurting too. So
absolutely
no fun, no good.
Yeah, I caught him a couple of years ago. I think 2010 at the Wani Festival. I caught Allman Brothers, and I'm almost positive he was a part of the lineup. So
I'm sure he's done most of their reunions and everything like this. Him and Johnson, both of them have been pretty good about being involved in the resurrections of the Allman Brothers band.
Pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah.
It is.
Pretty crazy
stuff.
It is crazy stuff. Pretty crazy stuff. Yeah.
So he'll be missed. But I guess on a lighter note. On a lighter note too, I've been putting a lot of serious thought into what my next drum shell purchase is going to be.
Let's hear it. Come on, let's break it down.
Well, I don't know yet. I really don't know. I mean, if anything more, I can just say I've started that giant task of research and kind of really breaking down what I really want, because it seems like this time, as I look for drums, I'm much more particular and focused about exactly kind of what I want. You know what I mean? Like where years in the past, it was easy just to settle for something that really caught my eye, where it's like, this time I'm not going to do any settling. You know what I mean? I'm going to get exactly what I want. And
seems like both of you guys are on that same path right now, because Richard was looking at some shell options too.
Oh, yeah. See, I'm sure he was.
Bring that up.
I wish I would have been able to see him as up close as you guys have, here in the recent past. But I'm doing my due diligence. I'll tell you one company that's really standing out to me that I kind of keep going back to and just kind of poking around and doing some more digging is Sakae.
Sakae.
Okay.
Sakae I don't know.
I mean, basically, they've been making drums in Japan for close to 100 years. I'm pretty sure they built all of the Yamaha shells.
Yeah, no, okay, I was about to say, now rumor is now the guy over at Sakae was the guy that built all the Yamahas up
exactly,
until like
exactly.
So all that craftsmanship, all that craftsmanship and a lot of ingenuity, went with the guy that went to Sakae. So
yeah, and that's what I've heard too. I've heard the Sakae provided their shells or something, and that was the company that made them for them. So I mean, and I don't know if that's the whole truth or if that's what I've picked up, but there's definitely ties.
Also they say that Sakae was big on hardware, so a lot of the stuff that you see Pearl, few other companies got their hardware, like Sakae is the parent distributor or builder in Japan for all the hardware company, except for like people that's over here like DW and all that other stuff. But a lot of the other Japanese or overseas stuff is coming from Sakae as far as hardware too. So they're pretty big over there, they say.
I'm looking at them now,
but they've only recently started to make drums under their name, sort of. I know that. I know they're fairly fresh to doing that. At least within the last couple of years. But I really like their kits. I like a lot of their finishes. And one big thing for me is I'm looking for more of a shallow tom, because I've always liked them low and flat, and I just want to have more clearance to be able to get those things lower and flatter. To be able to be kind of where I want to be comfort level. And so, and I like the shortness, shortens up the note a bit too. Makes them kind of a faster tom, a little bit quicker decay. So I kind of look forward to trying to find a kit that has those, and they offer, shell options that would fit that need. And one of my biggest things right now, especially, it's just like one thing that it's almost like a complete deal breaker, is I am not going to buy a drum set that has a double tom holder coming out of the bass drum.
Going virgin.
I want it clean as a whistle on top of there, because I'm not going to have my toms coming off of the bass drum. I'm going to have them coming off of stands or off a rack. You know what I mean? And I just love that clean look. Like when I think of a professional level drum set, I don't see a double tom holder coming out of the top of it.
Yeah, that clean look is dope. And that kind of comes from, so when you get like real, or a lot of the custom builders, they don't put a lot of hardware on their drum. That's why you can get a shell a la carte, or a different drum, just a la carte, and you were charged just for the drum. You weren't worried about, okay, what came with it, or do I have to get, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of like DW was big on that. Like a lot of your high-end kits, they have just that simple kick drum. You buy a 12, you buy a 12, you buy a 10, you buy a 10, you buy a kick drum, you buy a kick drum, whatever the size is. A lot of the tom holder thing came with the shell packs.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So yeah, and those are like the mid-level kind of mid to entry level intermediate kits. But yeah, I like that.
What's wild is it seems like as I'm doing research, like if you're not buying the absolute highest line from that company, then you're going to have a double tom holder coming out of the bass drum. So even if it's like they're like one tier below their like crazy USA custom whatever, you know what I mean, or their custom shop drum, once you get just down to that like one tier below that, you're going to have a double tom holder coming out of the bass drum. So that's one thing that's like, I don't know if I'm ready to pay that kind of nickel. You know what I mean? If you're talking about like a Gretsch USA custom shop build, you're talking about $3-4 grand for a few shells. I don't know if I could swing that. But, one other company that stands out a lot to me too, and they've always been a favorite of mine, is Tama, and they have their Star Classic Performer Bubinga Birch, where it's a hybrid of Bubinga and Birch, and I love Birch, and I love the lows of Bubinga, so it would be really cool to kind of delve into that kit a little bit more too, because they also do the short toms. They have some beautiful finishes. Their hardware, Tama hardware has always been nice hardware. They look good. They look clean. So, and they're a pretty good price point too. And they don't have, at least from what I could see, they don't have any double tom holder coming out of the bass drum.
Yeah.
So that's another pretty feasible option.
They actually had a kit called the Hyperdrive that had
the
shallower toms.
I remember them.
They had the shallower toms. They actually had the bigger kick drum, the deeper kick drum.
The deep, the 20-inch. Yep. And I'm trying to get away from that. I'm wanting to do a 20-inch by 16.
Oh yeah, you want to.
That's what I want to do.
You
want smaller for more punch.
Yeah, but see, I don't know if you want to sacrifice the bass in the bass drum. You know what I mean? I don't know. But hey,
I know what you're saying. But the only reason why I argue that point. Yeah. The only reason I argue that point is just because I feel with those deep bass drums, unless you like literally like are hitting so hard your butt's coming off of the throne when you're hitting the bass drum, you're never moving enough air in that big ass bass drum. You know what I mean? Where I've seen guys that play with a little bit smaller, and depending on how they're mic'd and EQ'd, like that thing hits, and it hits you right in the middle of the chest, and you're like, oh my god! And then you look up.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. See, it depends on miking situation. But see, I'm gonna tell you something. It's what goes in that's being enhanced by a microphone. If the kick drum is already in your chest, because I particularly like the combo with the shallower toms, but the bass and the bass drum. That's why I actually.
But you like
actually
that?
Own
like
a
that
couple. Yeah. Actually own a couple of kits. Like I actually own a couple of DW kits like that. and they have the 10 by 7, 12 by 7 and a half.
Is that your blue kit?
16. Yeah, my blue kit. Yeah,
I love
and
that.
The kick drum
kit.
is actually 22 by 20. Yeah, and Rich, you can tell them like the kick drum is like mic'd or not. It's like it's a monster.
Punchy. I remember playing that kit, man. I felt like I was a different drummer. It was just so comfy.
And it's just now what it is. A lot of times, if you're kicking that hard, you're looking for something already. On my bass drums, you hear the slap back from the drum. Now I don't know. I guess it depends on the kit or the builder. I don't know, but I haven't been letting. I'm gonna tell you 2 kits that have been pretty good to me. Actually 3. That was my DWs. Pearl makes a really good kick drum.
Yeah, there's always been something about the sound of a Pearl kick drum. I remember my buddy when we were kids, he got a Pearl. It was a Forum. It wasn't anything like crazy. And he put a pillow in that thing or a sleeping bag, rolled up sleeping bag or something in that thing and put that head on. And he hit that thing and I was like, wow, that's a bass drum. There's just always been something about Pearl bass drums. They always sound really, really good.
Now, when I got into, the custom shells, like you said, the a la carte shells, virgin shells, Pearl made me a Session Select 22 by 20. Mm-hmm. Now listen, that's actually when I fell in love with it. Now and which am I mic'd or not? You talk about the legend of Pearl kick drums is really like true to life. Now on the Tama side, that hyperdrive kit, I played it at some a few venues or whatever, and that hyperdrive kit. And I don't know if it came virgin kick drum. I'm not sure. But
it did because and I'll tell you this, Jamie, that drum set was like billed as a mid-level kit. Like it wasn't like their high-end pro level stuff. It was like the next tier down. So I'm almost certain it did. Well, I could be wrong about that. They might have not done a tom holder. It was a nice looking drum set, and I love some of the finishes on the hyperdrives. They had some beautiful finishes.
Yeah, they really did. As a matter of fact, I played this particular one was like they called it ice white or something. It was a matte white, but the hardware on it was the anodized chrome, like the darker chrome.
Oh, it was like black nickel kind of look.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it looked
chrome.
Really crazy. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I love white drums. Like that's one of my white and blue. Those are my 2 colors. Like as I've been going through and looking, it's normally for me. It's been a lot of blue lately. There's some beautiful blues out there, whether they be the glass kind of coverings or just different blue stains. I've seen some really cool fades. Sakae has a really neat black to blue like glitter fade. It looks beautiful. Mm-hmm. There's so many really cool finishes out there.
But yeah, I think that's that combo. To me, that combo is. I'm with you. I mean, all in favor. I think we all agree. Shallower toms, kick drums with butt in them.
Well, I might have to kick halfway, Jamie, because I don't know what it is, but I've really been wanting to slightly downsize on the kick, anyways. So maybe I'll go like 20 by 18 instead of bringing it in another 2 inches.
Yeah, I mean, now listen. What are you doing it for an all around kit or just something that portable?
Well, this would be my performing gigging kit, and for right now, for most of the stuff I do, the kit is mic'd, it's going through front of house, it's EQ'd, so we're able to get a good drum sound on stage. So it's not like I'm playing places that are unmiked. If that were the case, I'd probably go for huge giant drums, like do the Bonham kit, the 24-inch kick, and the big 14-inch rack, and 16 and 18-inch floors. I was doing just those unmiked gigs.
That stuff I never subscribed to. And I love John Bonham. I mean, I love what he did for the rock drumming game, but I have no room at all for those drums. I've actually played a 24 by 20.
Oh my god!
It sounds dope. When I say it sounds beautiful. It really sounds beautiful. But I have no room for that.
Sounds like it will knock you to next Tuesday.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they look, and it was a pearl.
Okay.
It was a pearl, so it was smacking. But yeah, I'm like, wow. And I mean, thinking like you said, ability and sound. Because I was gonna say like maybe try a 20 by 20 before you said 20 by 18.
Yeah, that's
But maybe
true.
try
Keep
that.
it, keep it,
Try
keep it 20 inches deep. I get it. I get it. Make it squared off.
just try that and then
Yeah.
mic it. You know, since you're in the mic situation, you're gonna get a nice spectrum out of it. I believe, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm sure
I
you're
don't mean
right.
to butt in right here, but we were talking about the Sakae drums, and I came across a pretty interesting article doing a little research here. And you're right. They were they were behind all of the high end drums for Yamaha. But in 2014, they broke ties with Yamaha and went off to do their own thing as a separate company. And I found this huge article from the owner, kind of breaking down why he chose to basically destroy the biggest deal in music history as far as the one company making drums for another. And it's really interesting. But this was 2-3 years ago, and they're clearly have must have benefited from the decision because they're still around, they're still making drums. But
Well,
they're behind the Yamaha recording customs. They're behind all that. And apparently,
if you look back too, I'm pretty sure their company alone it's almost 100 years old. So it'd be pretty.
Yeah.
They knew what they were doing. They just said, you know what, we're just going to do this on our own.
Well, apparently the decision.
So they already had
made.
the knowledge.
Yeah, the decision was made when the second generation owner handed it down to the third generation owner.
Okay.
So they just and yeah, very very interesting. They've been I found it says they've been in business since 1925.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Long time. And like I said, they've caught my eye. I mean, I find myself coming back to them and just going, man, there's something about these drums now, and they're not cheap. They're expensive drums. You know what I mean? They're if you're not buying like one of the beginner kind of offerings, but if you're looking for the high end stuff, it's you're getting what you pay for. I'm sure.
Man, I think they're nice, but you know where I've been at, kind of on the drum game.
Custom stuff. That's the other side of it.
Right.
Like that's the other side of it that like I haven't even started to delve into that. It's like there are so many good, awesome custom companies out there right now.
I'm so pulled to love too. I've been so into. I can't get my eyes off of Buddy's kits. There's so many.
I'm gonna have to check into him. I haven't really sat there and studied up. I mean, it's been a long time since I really got down on custom drums and really saw what was going on in the scene.
Well,
so you're gonna have to help me out, Richard.
What I'll say here, and this is more like a direct review, kind of like with Mike Martin and Predator. I still have his drum right now, and so do you. Yeah. Even with him, the quality in the builds, even comparison to the price, I don't really feel like I'm going to spend that much money. You're spending $600 or $700 up to $1,000 on a snare. That's it's a lot of money, but at the same time, this is one of a kind. This isn't cookie cutter. This guy builds these things by hands. He cuts these bearing edges by hands. It's such a specific process that not that Yamaha and everybody else has engaged it down to perfection, but it's like when a machine's doing the same thing all the time, you're kind of getting a lot of what everybody else has. Whereas with the custom,
even if it's hand built though, even if it's hand built, like say it's hand built by Tama, it's hand built by Sakae, it's hand built by any of those companies, DW, any of them. When they offer a drum that you can buy, it's available to a lot of drummers to buy that same exact drum. You know what I mean? They make a whole bunch of one drum, where you don't see that in a true custom company. The ones we're talking about, it's like any of those snare drums. That's one off. Just like you said, that's nobody's going to buy the twin to that drum because it doesn't exist. There isn't a twin. It's one of a kind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And it's just as though my main point here is, even though when you think custom, a lot of people may be shy or turn their head like, I don't want to spend that kind of money. I think that with the explosion of all these other companies, other people are starting to change their pricing around. I'm just seeing better pricing. Really, I really am seeing better pricing than ever.
Well, I'm not trying to like say be like a cheap bastard. I'm just as a working drummer, I have to I do have to work within a budget.
Right.
And I think that's a lot of drummers are in that same that same place. You know what I mean? You want a pro level kit, but you do have to work within a budget. But I want the features of a pro level kit. I'm playing it out for money. I'm using it, pretty much every week, doing that. So it's like, at that point you need all the features that come in a pro kit. But like I say, and I'm also not making enough money just to be able to go, here's $5,000 on shells. Can't do that. That's a lot of money.
Right. What's your opinion, Jamie, when it comes to custom kits?
Say this. Okay. It goes back to that old adage: you get what you pay for. Now,
that's true.
If you want uniqueness, if you want like custom sizes, the whole nine, and there's a lot of great custom builders out there now, but sometimes what you get for the price you pay is based on a relationship. Now, it's great to have guys that just like like the Predator guy. Like it seems like from the pictures, he makes some good stuff, But then we all know about the Yamaha Phoenix kit. We know about the when DW. I don't know if you guys remember talking about history. You remember when DW only made one line? There was no designer, there was no performer, there was no collectors even. It was just DW drums. It was just straight workshop, custom hand-built drums. All the drums were custom hand-built drums. And so it's kind of like the craftsmanship is what you get out of a custom drum more than anything. You can pick colors, you know what I'm saying? Everything's been tried now. I mean, as far as, it's not like back in the day where you couldn't find even a canary yellow drum kit wasn't unusual. I mean, thanks to Tony Williams. But it's like you can just about whatever you can think of actually can be made nowadays. But it's just like really what you guys are doing, even with your picking wood combos, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's the labor of love that goes into it that makes it custom more than anything. And in a relationship, because you get a guy that can build out a drum by hand, and it just turns out being a masterpiece and something highly playable. Like, yeah, you just you've won at that point. That's a custom drum. Like that's a drum. You know what I'm saying? No. To me, that's what makes it like the whole I guess bragging certificate, as it were, as it's saying it's a one of a kind, custom drum. Like, yeah, this is the only one like this in the world that we, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I feel you. So, I feel you.
I like uniqueness. I do. I like the idea of even. Well, I'll say this. I like custom. I like custom. I like craftsmanship more than anything. Custom or not, cookie cutter or not.
I like craftsmanship too.
Yeah, cookie cutter or not, I like craftsmanship. Now, uniqueness. Hey, who doesn't want that? But custom, I don't mind. It's got to be how it's built.
I feel you. Well, I guess to kind of wrap up, my segment on my search for the drums, I think, we've all kind of shared some interesting ideas and talked about some pretty cool stuff. But also I wouldn't mind hearing what our listeners, what kind of opinions they have for me. So as you guys know, I'm out there. I'm looking for shells. What say you? I'm sure we could get lots of people arguing a lot of different points on this, but I wouldn't mind hearing that. Or if there's a custom company out there that you think maybe I don't know about and should know about, if I'm in search of my next shells, let me know. Tell us, comment, email me, hit up our Instagram.
And if there's any, not to cut you off, sorry, if there's any like great dope custom builders out, let's talk. Send us some pictures at least of your stuff so we can, check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, absolutely.
It's funny too, is I ran a little post this week, one asking people to kind of name their favorite snares. Let us know what your favorite snare drum is. And go check that one out, Kevin. We had a lot of people putting in snares I've never heard of. It might lead you down a path you're interested in. But just to point out, can you guys just guess what snare was called the most? Who guessed? Can you guess? Just anybody?
I have no idea.
The Ludwig Superphonic Black.
I was just gonna say a Superphonic. Yeah. I was kind of like before you started to say it, I was like, dang it, it's gonna be the Ludwig.
You know, I don't look though, but think about it though. Isn't that just because that's the most like one of the most recorded drums in history? It's not that
Probably.
anybody.
I
You know
wonder
what
if
I'm saying? It's
it's
not because it's nothing custom. It's nothing really custom
No,
about that
but
drum.
it's a good versatile drum though. You could get it to sound like a lot of different things. You know, I mean, it still has its sound, but you know, you can tune it high, you can tune it mid. It kind of it can be versatile, and I think in that fashion. So,
But
you know,
Kevin,
it proved its worth.
Rich, think about it. Okay, yeah. In the 19 when was it made? Somebody Google that. Okay, so when you look at the time it was made, it was a shallower drum,
Uh-huh.
so it wasn't like the big giant,
That's
boxes
true.
they were playing. And it had a broader range because it was metal.
True.
It had the smack on it. I'm gonna put my own, interject my own bit of history with the Black Beauty. Good friend of mine, longtime friend, actually like a play uncle to me, Michael Newble, used to do a whole lot of his recordings with that Black Beauty. And what he used to do was put die cast on them. And die cast, it allows you to crank it even a little bit more and still keep the body. And when you had the fat snares on the bottom, it was actually more sensitive. So it was like a really dope recording drum.
Mm-hmm.
But back when it was made, that probably was the idea or the equivalent of the stock snare drum you get when you buy a Pearl Export.
Yeah.
They give you the Sensitone 5x7, 14 by 5.5. I'm sorry.
Yep.
The regular stock,
the standard size. Sure.
Yeah, and who keeps those?
No, I do get that. But the thing is, I guess it's like anything else too. So many people, once thought about those drums like that, almost like throwaways. Like, oh, who wants to use that? It was the one that came with the kit. Until eventually it was like, damn, they're rare now. You know what I mean? Like, and somebody was looking for that. I guess I don't know.
Now I do agree, Kevin. The iconicness, is that what the word is? The icon,
Yeah.
the icon value of that snare is timeless. Yeah, but no one talked about. Because to me, and I hate to keep bringing him up, but the edge changed the game.
Yeah.
The DW Edge snare changed the game.
Yeah. No, I understand.
And not just because, it was like the sheer idea of a wood and metal snare. Like you had the best of all the worlds. And I personally like diecast on my snare. So I'll put diecast on that girl. Now. And I'm a snare head. Like now me, I'm gonna tell you something. I would probably own, if I just had my like drum sanctuary, I'd have one set and just have every size made in that finish or whatever. All the kick drums, all the racks, all the 8 to 18, 20, 22, and 24. Yeah. But my snare, snares to me are like shoes to girls.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
No homo intended, but snares.
I get that. I was thinking the other day because I was thinking just the other day. I was at the other warehouse with the 21 to Burn, the cover band, and I had my acrylic snare, I had my big maple Premier, I had Mike's Predator. So obviously it's not in my arsenal, but it's there amongst these snares, and then I got the matching Gretsch snare from my the kit, the Gretches that I play now, and I'm just like, wow. It's like I got a nice little array of choice here, and I could totally feel that. And it's like you see another one, and you're like, I gotta have that one. And you see another one, I gotta have that.
Snares are like an extension of your personality, like like that. Your drums are the fillers, but that backbeat is your snare. Like that. Yeah. That's what says Kevin is sitting at the kit, or Richard is sitting at the kit, or I'm sitting at the kit. That snare, for a time, snare sound made you realize who it was on a record.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
And
you are right.
And me being a how in a perfect world, I'm telling you, I have a room full of nothing but snares.
Huh.
Just snare, like different. Like I have not. Now I'm gonna tell you what I like to see. I like to see now the polls. The polls don't lie. Okay, let's the Black Beauty wins. You know what I'm saying? But I like stuff when people try like different stuff and it just like blows the game out of the water. Like I have yet to see. I want to see an edge but with acrylic. I want to put that out. I
like a hybrid wood and acrylic.
No, metal and acrylic.
Metal and acrylic. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh.
Acrylic where the wood is, but still with the metal edges.
Okay. Okay.
Like that's the kind of stuff that makes me like, antlers go up. Like, ooh, that you
probably
talk about.
Like some customers that maybe are cool enough to be. I'm sure there's at least one or two. I hope. And I don't know, maybe all of a sudden right now they were like, what does Jamie want?
It's out there. It's out there. We put it out. It's in there now.
All right, guys. Well, I think we've got a fun little talk here. What do you think, Richard?
Yeah, man, we got to talk drums, got to catch up, and we didn't even mention that there's like no guest this week because of my moving situation. I've kind of had to cancel all our shows and move things around, so I do apologize to all the listeners. But I don't think there's really that big of a deal because they've had the pleasure of chatting with the three of us, and of course, it's always an honor to have Jamie on the show, so thanks for making this one this week again and keeping the flow going. I'm just stoked. I think it was a great show. Next week we will have a guest. Actually, I'm looking at our scheduler, and we have like 16 shows booked right now with guests.
Yes, we do have a lot.
So
Cool.
Heads up to our team. You got a lot of work ahead of you as far as show notes go. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Josh and Dylan will be having fun.
Guys.
Oh yeah. I mean, Jamie, it's been fun. These talks last week with the catching up on NAMM and everything else that was going on, and then just having a kind of a roundtable discussion about some drums in general today. It's fun stuff, guys. So.
Funny, that update show was one of the most highly downloaded in one day, so I was pretty impressed.
I wouldn't have thought that, but hey, I'm not going to argue with it.
Yes, go log into the account and look. It's just insane. I'm just proud. I'm impressed. Thank you to all our listeners who are showing the love.
Yes,
it's been pretty crazy.
Thank you.
Pretty crazy. Hey, and you know what? I was real quick give a shout out to our buddy Drum Gab, as a fellow podcaster, showed us some love on his shows. Been showing us a lot of love on his channel, and we've been chatting a lot lately. Really cool guy. I expect to see Drummers I Like doing some cool cross-podcasting shows with some of these guys moving forward. It's going to be pretty interesting to see the conversations that we have. So shout out to him. Shout out to all of our fans. Shout out to Jamie and Kevin. And if you are on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, it's super easy to find us. On Facebook, it's Drummers I Like, or it's facebook.com/Drummers I Like. And on Instagram and Twitter, it's @Drummers I Like. Super easy to find us. We're running questionnaires. We're running contests. We are doing stuff all the time. And if you want to connect with me, Kevin, or Jamie, any of us, you can find us all through Drummers I Like. All our tags are available. It's not hard to find us. And if you want to subscribe to the show, if you want to review the show, Kevin, can you please tell our listeners how to do so?
Yeah. You can listen, subscribe, and most importantly, review us on iTunes. You can go to Google Play Music, Stitcher, your favorite third-party app. You can listen directly on our website, drummersilike.net. You just click on that episode, and you'll see the nifty little player there right on the page, along with a nice batch of show notes that Josh has been doing a great job putting together here. So yeah. And then if you are listening through the show and not through an app or a program that allows you to leave a review, you could always just leave a comment on that about that show. If you've got some feedback right there on the page, right at the bottom, you can always find a way to comment on us on our on any of our pages on our site. So do that. Hit us up. Let us know. That helps drummers find us. It helps us rate better, with iTunes, with Google Play Music. Then people find us easier. Then more people enjoy the show. Then we talk to more drummers. It's this whole cool vicious cycle, and then we won't have to talk to you about this anymore because you guys will all be doing it without us even mentioning it.
No more.
So,
no more.
Yeah. I think that's about it. You do all that. You keep us happy. We'll try and keep you happy with a good show. That's the whole idea. So.
Wait, almost forgot to. If you are looking for some awesome new T-shirts for the new upcoming hot summer months, please hit drummersilike.net/shop. Hit the Drummers I Like shop. We are running discount code NAM this week. So at checkout, just type in NAMM. You're gonna get a nice discount on anything you buy. And if you get that merchandise in the mail sooner or later, please take a picture, put it online, let us know that you got it. We'll do a repost and show the love right back at you. So once again, I think that we're coming to a nice end. Thank you guys for your time today, and I'm looking forward to a great show next week.
Yes. Thanks, guys,
Cool
and
deal.
thanks to all our listeners.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
All right, everybody. Have a great night.
All right, you guys too. Good night.